All right, and we're back here on Couch Coach Live, a special edition. Normally it's a Wednesday night under the lights, but we're here on a Tuesday night under the lights here, especially a holiday week. So what's going on, Maui?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Hey, we here just going along with the sports, and we less than a month away from the first preseason game. So we entering the dog days of summer, but we ain't got long, and show lined up tonight. We'll talk about some free agency moves in the National Basketball Association. We'll have an honest conversation about Bronny James, no fillers. So we'll talk about that as well. We'll dive into some more topics as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to kick that intro, and we'll be right back here on Couch Coach Live. Yes, and we like that. Shout out to Big Kirko. Hopefully you good. And you about a month away seeing what you gotta do, Big Kirko, and hopefully everything's good down in Atlanta for Big Kirko. So we back here on a Tuesday night under the lights here as we gonna talk about free agency. It's been a very interesting 48 hours as the as far as free agency has been concerned. That's the beauty about, even in the midst of this time of the year, you think to yourself, okay, you got baseball going on, in the NBA season wraps up. Obviously, we know this is pretty much the dead period in NFL. Most of your favorite coaches, favorite players are on vacation as they get ready for training camps. Nothing really happens in the NFL this time of year, but we got free agency, and that's the kind of the beauty thing about the sports calendar. There's never really a quote unquote dead period in a sense. Maybe next week potentially, but there's still stuff going on in the world of sports. But so we here. So one of the first shoe to drop in free agency. If you were up early on Monday morning, and I don't know, if you got that Woj bomb around about 4:00 Monday morning, that Paul George signed with the Philadelphia 76ers, got the 4-year max, which is $212 million. What was your thoughts on Paul George going to the Sixers?
No, I want to apologize to Paul George because I was saying last week, I'm like, damn, they acting like Paul George is the wild card. But then when you look at his stats, he stayed consistent, man. Like his career stats, like he really a career like 20-point guy. What let me see. He played, career 34, 21 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. And his whole 15 years, and he's going into his 15th season, if I'm not mistaken, he has stayed consistent with that. And it's like I think, and then that's from Paul George's standpoint, and the money he got, that's what's up. They gave him what he wanted. And they're a contender team. On the other hand, the 76ers, to me, if I was building the 76ers, I would be more like Boston. Whereas if I lose a key player, which most likely, you may lose Embiid for a certain amount of time, can I still be consistent and a contender? You know what I mean? If all my pieces still going to still be able to keep moving forward, and then once Embiid get there, or if he is going to be there, which he should be, he'll be just added on. You understand what I'm saying? Because
sure. Oh yeah.
I mean, it to me, having and Paul George with the experience, Um, Also, definitely great for with Maxi. Like all around, man. Like I just think it's a good look for him. Um, I think a lot of those guys too, man. That's on the West. You know, you could probably go to an Eastern Conference team, man, and probably most likely make them a contender. You know what I'm saying? Like, like seriously. So I think it's a great move. 4 year, 212 million, man, with a player option. Like he basically got James Harden paper. But shout out to
for
him. I
sure.
think it's a great move. I think it's a great move.
Yeah, so definitely got to give a huge shout out to our guy, Sean Mears. Coach, I call him Coach Mears, the voice of the city. Shout out to our guy for
Right,
checking
right,
us out tonight. Yeah, I think this is a good move for Phil. I think when you look at it from the standpoint of if all three look at PG, Maxi, and the B, they all playing, he could literally be their third option.
right,
And you look at like kind of in the event if they are out, you look at like last year when B was out last year, Maxi took on that scoring load. So now, if you got one of them out, those two can step up. And obviously, he's a wing, so it's one of the things where you definitely need that from that perspective. And I think this could definitely help him, especially in the postseason, if all three are healthy
right,
and he can really and he can really stick to defending. Like as far as you don't necessarily have to, he could be your 20-point scorer and still also be able to
right,
have the energy to defend. So I think this is a good move for the Sixers. And then obviously what they've done thus far. I mean, you bring in Jared McCain, the rookie out of Duke. So you look at him; he's a guy that can shoot as well. So
right,
you have those type of the situations where I think Philly definitely has put themselves at least at this point potentially in the Eastern Conference Finals, and I think that's
right,
where you at least that's a starting point. That's where you want to at least get to a point where um, that you could get to that. And I think the beauty thing about the Paul George thing is like I was saying earlier, he doesn't necessarily have to be your number one in a sense. It's almost kind of similar to like kind of his role in LA in a sense, but obviously with Kawhi being out for the majority of their tenure together, Paul George stepped into that play now as you've seen these last few years where Kawhi's been out that lineup and he's been like their most reliable player in a sense.
that's what I'm saying.
So yeah, so and then obviously Nick Nurse, I think with what he's doing in Philly, yeah, this is kind of one of those moves where this puts them in the Eastern Conference Finals. It's almost a collision course either between you really got a three-way log jam in a sense. We like there's gonna be some meaningful basketball played on 95
Right,
for the first time in quite a while. So that
right,
or as Amtrak will call it, the Northeast Corridor, where those the where the trains and all that, where most of them take trains from those matchups essentially.
right.
So yeah, Amtrak is definitely
I
yeah,
mean,
and to Deshaun's point here, I got you. And
I
where
got
it's not like Tobias Harris is chopped liver. I mean, hey, he's gonna be in Detroit, so we're gonna,
I mean,
we're gonna.
um, with Lowry still there, like just think about it. Embiid is out, right? They can still make some moves where you got like Kyle Lowry there, you got Eric Gordon there, you got Buddy Hield there. Like that could be a quick running team that you not even used to seeing. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
um, and Paul George can play, 2, 3. Sometimes you can put him. I mean, you can sometimes put him at the 4, but I'm sure they was put there at the 4 at a certain period of time dealing with them Clippers. But I just think it's a real good look, and I think that in the stage of his career, um, I think it's a good look because it don't have to be so much responsibility on him. Like he's at that age, it shouldn't be that much responsibility on him. You know what I'm saying? And I think he sacrificed a lot going and be with the Clippers all those years because to me, he was the most consistent one. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to say anything about their success, it was Paul George.
yeah.
One more thing,
Um,
I also think that
mhm.
what's the guy, what's the GM's name or the president? Dan Murray.
Daryl Morey,
Daryl
Daryl
Murray.
Morey.
I think he's petty also. Hey man, come on over here. We give you that bread that Harden wanted.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and this is one of those where and them combined, the three of them, they give you over 80 points a game. So that's kind of one of those things I think too is definitely going to be intriguing once the playoffs roll around. That's another one where I really want to see how this all comes to play in the playoffs, more so
Right.
than the regular season. Yeah, you'll see some glimpses of it in the regular season, but
Right.
especially if you have because we always talk about like the duo in Boston with Tatum and Brown, and we're like, oh man, they definitely got to put up 70 some points to combine potentially. Not some nights, 60 some nights, or whatever, what have you. But this trio, in a sense, could give you 80. So it's kind of one of those where it's going to definitely be intriguing in the Eastern Conference with that is concerned. So another thing that happened this weekend, there was officially the end of the Warriors dynasty officially, as far as
Mm-hmm.
the Splash Brother era is no longer into play here, where Klay Thompson went to the Dallas Mavericks. So it's a part of a sign and trade deal with the Mavericks. So pretty much the Warriors will receive a 2025 and a 2023 second round pick. So pretty much a high school senior and a seventh grader, essentially in that second round potentially in 2023. And then also a part of that deal was Josh Green went to the Charlotte Hornets. So Klay Thompson did sign for it was 3 year, $50 million deal. So what's your thoughts on Klay? And also, obviously, the Lakers was in the running of that as well. So just your thoughts on Klay signing with the Warriors, not the Warriors, but with the Mavs, and then also just not going with the Lakers.
Again, when you look at the stats, and this is the truth, go look at his stats. They were saying he dropped off. I don't know if his scoring stats and minutes played was almost identical, and that's just the truth. You go back and look at it. Like he's really a eight between an 18 and a 21 point person. 34 minutes a game. That's just the truth. That's what his stats say. And he really hadn't lost that. You know what I mean? Even after his injuries. Um, so I'm looking at the Warriors like, you didn't even replace him. I'm happy for him. I think his issue was I think they offered him 2 years, 48, the Warriors. I think the Lakers supposedly was 4 years, 20 million or something like that. Something weird like that. And then he went to the Mavs with 3 years, 50 million. And I think it was more or less about the organization. I think it was definitely the state tax, but I think they might come off as a better organization, no drama, nothing crazy. Just let me play basketball, game my bread. You know what I mean? That's the way I look at it. I think the Warriors, when you really I hate to even say this, but if you really pay attention to, there's quiet drama that has always been there since Mark Jackson, Iguodala, Kevin Durant, Jordan Poole, and go on and on and on. And the funny thing about it is, and no disrespect, I like Draymond, but a lot of it, Draymond's face or is around that. You understand? You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
just being honest, it almost like they picked and choose to pay certain people and then give it to Klay. And I'm gonna tell you, in the end, I think it's really gonna hurt Steph. I think Steph is still gonna do him, but I think emotionally and a lot of things, I think in trust, I think it's really gonna hurt Klay. I'm not Klay, but Steph. I'm sorry. I think Steph. But I'm happy for Klay. If he's happy, I'm happy.
Yeah. Yeah, like and yep. So they are in rebuild mode, and then it was fun while it lasted. But I definitely think I'll go for the Mavericks angle first. So I love the move for Dallas. Obviously, now
Mm-hmm.
you get that third score. So we talked about in the NBA Finals as far as their 3 point percentage. Like Clay could definitely help them as far as getting them an opportunity to shoot more threes, free throw shooting. He's probably arguably the best free throw shooter in the league. So that's another key addition from them. That's like I said, a third score for that team. So that's definitely great for Dallas, especially considering the fact coming off an NBA Finals, you definitely need to kind of add somebody to that mix. for you to at least get back in and then be a part of the
Mm-hmm.
conversation in the Western Conference. The Warriors thing, I think it was just ultimately it was going to happen. I think
Right.
obviously we knew Clay essentially was going to be pretty much once we knew Draymond signed that extension, we knew that was Clay 1 foot out the door with that because and we knew the frustration, about him not getting paid. Obviously, if I know Richard Jefferson talked about an incident that he ran into, to Clay during Christmas at Christmas, and he was saying pretty much tell him to pay me. So we knew at that time, and then obviously we knew the Draymond, and then also Jordan Poole got paid. So it's kind of one of those where it's like we kind of knew like that was going to happen with them. The Lakers, I was really surprised because I definitely thought that was going to happen because of the fact of Michael Thompson still being with the organization as far as being a part of the broadcast team with the Lakers. I thought that was going to be a situation. And then obviously we know that Clay loves for the Lakers. Obviously he's talking about, his best moments was at the Staples Center. That's now the Crypto Center. With Kobe and Shaq and, pretty much being around that organization. So I was kind of shocked. I thought, I think obviously initially when free agency came about, I thought he was gonna go there, but obviously Monday morning it was announced that he was going to Dallas. But I mean, it's a great move for Clay. And I think this kind of one of those. I think you're gonna have a revenge. He's gonna be like now the guy that's gonna be on a revenge tour, and I'm looking forward to what he's gonna bring for the Dallas Mavericks team
Right.
for sure.
Him too. I just, I see Sean said then that the Warriors was in rebuild mode. And to me, like I said, when I saw his stats, I was like, so, like it was one. I was like, okay, so he averaged 30 minutes, 30. I said, so this one when he was got averaged 18, he only played 17 minutes. But so if he would played like 5 more minutes or 4 more minutes, he would have averaged what he usually averaged. And I was like, is his defense? Because nobody wants to talk about Klay Thompson was a good defender, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe his defense ability is not what it used to be. You know what I mean? But at the same time, man, like those guys played in a system. Regardless of what anybody say, if you look, like I said, if you look at James Harden, his biggest numbers was under Mike D'Antoni, and if you look at Mike D'Antoni, every star that played under his system, they soared. You know what I mean? James Harden ain't looked the same since. So even you can even say Carmelo, he didn't look the same after he left that system. So I'm just saying, I'm not knocking. I saw something early today. They said, when you look at Clay too, they paid him the 140, but he had hurt himself for 2 years. He was out for 2 years out of that 140. So and then it's a new person that's running that organization, man. And
Yeah.
as soon as that happened, they all should, most likely they should have been thinking like, okay, things are not going to be the same,
Yeah, the smartest person is I was the smartest person in sports was what's his face Bob Myers, because he got out right in time, and
Right.
I think we talked about it on the show when Mike Dunleavy took over, and we're like, oh gosh, he's gonna have such a hell a hell of a role to play, because now you think you're trying to get yourself out the luxury tax hell that you're in, and
Right.
pretty much having to break up this dynasty. So yeah, Bob Myers. If somebody got out of town quick, fast, in a hurry, and in the smartest and most efficient way, it was Bob Myers, and it's crazy. But I mean, yeah, we kind of knew, this was this day was going to happen at least, in 2024. But I mean, yeah, and then what's going to be next for this team. I mean, obviously, you look at. I know they just signed Slow Mo, so I looked at. They signed him. I know they're still in the running and maybe to get Lauren Marketing.
The Warriors signed Slow
So I'm
Mo.
like, yeah, they just signed him maybe like 10 minutes ago, like right before we got on air. Yep.
Oh man, that's a good
So
pick.
I'm
I like
like,
Slow Mo.
hey, it's a solid one. I like that one. Like, especially, like we said, it's not necessarily to replace Clay, but like he's another
Oh,
cerebral player. Kind of like, he's one that, like you said, he can pick up multiple positions. And so it's kind of he fits in that kind of mode. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm curious what's going to be next for this Warriors team, because I know, like I was saying earlier about the Laurie marketing situation, if they could potentially get him, that could be something that could definitely help them down the road. And what they're going to do with because who was it? And what was crazy, because who was it? Oh, the Bulls. So I forgot, I forgot, because they was trying to trade him, because they were going to trade Clay, Kaminga. That was the Paul George trade, where they
Mm-hmm.
was going to give Kaminga a first, Wiggins, and somebody else for PG, and they like, nah. And then he walked. I'm like, what?
Telling you, this season I'm watching
Yeah,
Steph because I
yeah.
I think Steph is working too hard to get a shot now. I think in the last 2 3
Mm-hmm.
years, like I'm watching him do a little bit too much, especially for a guy who
Yeah.
had bad ankles and this and that. Like I'm sitting here watching, like, okay, is he going? I'm really watching him to see what's about to happen because I think they just got rid of him, get rid of Clay. I know Draymond is supposed to be the muscle, but I remember those years when them dudes was hurt. You know what I'm saying? When and the struggle they had to deal with, you know, and they looked real bad. They had a lot of fighters. Their team didn't stop though. They was fighting the to win those, some
Yeah.
of those games, but it just wasn't. And they wasn't loyal to those guys. There was a lot of guys that fought when Clay was hurt, when Draymond might have been out, or and Steph was hurt. They got rid of all those guys. You know what I mean? It wasn't just Jordan Poole. It was a bunch of shooters that was there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I would have never let
Yeah.
what's the dude that went to the Knicks, the redhead? Lala.
DiVincenzo.
I would have never let
DiVincenzo.
him go. Why would you let him go? When
Yeah.
you know most likely he wasn't going to sign Clay. Why would you let him go?
Yeah. Crazy. But
Because it's about to
yeah.
be reality, B. This was about to happen.
Oh
Your organization
yeah.
was
Yeah. Yeah.
horrible for years, and Iguodala was telling them, like, man, I ain't doing people right.
Yeah. But that's organizations though. That's the crazy thing about it.
Organization,
Even it's
right?
yeah, and yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's kind of one of the things where it's almost like they had to, because it had so much that luxury tax. They got to
Yeah,
trim that fat from that luxury tax. So especially
right,
considering the fact that you're not at that level, like it's cool when you win championships, but if
right.
you in in that type of situation, it's sucks. And like now, what they gonna do? So yeah. So we talk about we talk about the kind of the main ones. So let's talk about some sleeper acquisitions during the offseason. And this doesn't necessarily have to be signings. It could be trades or anything that happened in the offseason. What are your sleeper offseason moves? What you got?
I mean, you might know this one. I really liked OKC's move with Alex Caruso and was it Hartenstein?
Yeah, yeah, Hartenstein,
Um,
yeah.
I'm,
Hartenstein,
I'm
yeah.
first. I'm gonna say this honestly. The signing for Detroit, and this is for Tobias Harris, for him to have a 5 year guaranteed $180 million, and was horrible horrible, like horrible the last 2 3 years, horrible. Still
Yeah.
got that bread, and then when signed, what, 2 year, $52 million, at
Yep.
Detroit. I can't do nothing but he the Kirk Cousins of the NBA. I can't do nothing but stand up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I can't. I can't.
Mhm.
It is what it is, man. Congratulations, homie. Um, I really like the Chris Paul. I think the Chris Paul 1 year 11 million. I really like that because when you look at that team, and then I just think it's smart because Chris Paul is older. He's a point guard. He's a coach on the floor, but he also somewhat can uh still relate somewhat to the younger players. You know what I'm saying? Like more than Pop.
Yeah.
Feel what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I just think, and then with Wimby, I felt like the problem he had last year, a lot of those players really did want to pass him the ball. It's been documented. Other players been on these podcasts saying they not passing him the ball like that. So I just felt like that's a good look. I always felt like, if anything, if you're gonna be an old like Mike Conley, if you're gonna be here, help the younger player learn how to do a pick and roll and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Um, and like I said, the Alex Caruso and Hartenstein, I really like that one. I think I don't know how you feel about it, but I think getting Caruso, he's a scrappy player. He's you when he's on the floor with you, you don't have to work on defense as much because he got your back. I think his drive, which in effort is what you really want somebody to help motivate you, especially on defense. Um, and Hartenstein, like he's a he built himself up. He really never started as a center. I felt like he did well for the Knicks this year. Well, actually, last few years he's done well.
Yeah.
They gonna play they role players. They not lazy. So I think that's a good pickup. OKC. Everybody got to remember OKC was number one in the West going into the playoffs, and they just got really basically two defensive players, and that's not what they were known for. They was known for scoring. Alex Caruso is 43% from the 3-point line, and that's big. That's big for when he played with us.
Yeah.
Hey man,
Yeah.
how you feel?
Yeah. I mean, I guess I can start with that. Yeah. And it's funny, and because I in the beginning I was looking at the Thunder almost like a future Boston, and
Right.
it's literally those type of moves that they got. Because to me, I'm not. I'm, I just want to take this out of context. I look at Alex Russo and Hartenstein moves almost similar to bringing Kristaps Porzingis and bringing
Yeah.
in Drew Holiday in a sense
Yeah.
where, and you look at it from that standpoint, from a defensive standpoint, you look at guys like him and Lou Dort, they're really going to clog that perimeter. So it's kind of one. It's like, and I like what they're doing. And like I said, they were number one in the Western Conference, and now they're older. And now you
Right.
look at Hardenstein, where he can take that load off of Chet, because I don't think definitely Chet
Mm-hmm.
can literally be that forward potentially. And then you got like a guy like the Jalen Williams, and then obviously SGA. So it was the smart move. I mean, for the Thunder to get those guys, I think that's another one where I like that move, because normally when you're at that point and you're young, you're like, okay, well, let my young guys develop. You take that
Right.
risk. You get rid of a guy like a Josh Giddey who you know hasn't really found his role in OKC, and you really trade him for a guy in Alex Caruso that gives you that opportunity to become, when you have those matchups. And I think they're probably the most equipped when it comes to dealing with the Boston Celtics potentially if they were to make it to the NBA Finals. So, because they're almost eerily similar in a sense. So, I do like that move. It's a few other moves I like. Like you said, the Spurs, I definitely like them to get CP3. You get that veteran presence. I definitely helps Stephon Castle, their
Mm-hmm.
no fourth overall pick in the draft. I definitely think
Right.
he's going to give him an opportunity, as far as to learn by
Right.
example. So, and I always be fearful for those type of teams where it's this team is really young, so it's kind of like who can learn from, their OG is probably 25 years old versus a
Right.
Chris Paul who's going into his 20th year in the NBA. It's like, how can you really get advice from a 25-year-old guy? And you're 19, 20 years old, and your vet
Right.
is 26, 25, 26 years old. um
Right.
the sleeper one out of it all, I call me crazy, but I like this KCP going to Orlando.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
and I don't necessarily think it's more so from a scoring aspect, but I think he's going to give them championship
Veteran.
experience that they need, because now you look at, even though they've gone through a 7-game series and lost to Cleveland, but now you bring in a guy like a KCP who gives you that veteran leadership. And I think
Right.
and it sucks for Denver, because I think he was one of their core guys. I know we always talk about Joker, we talk about Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, but KCP is another guy that literally was like their glue guy of that team, and I definitely think that's going to transfer over to Orlando, and they've done a good job retaining their talent. I think they just signed Jonathan Isaac's back, also the Wagner kid, and then and they're another team that's going to get older, as far as they got a little bit more experience. So I like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one more.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more. I actually like James Wiseman going to the Pacers. I I know I always make this case for these young guys going to these teams in the sense. I think if everything stays well, he's going to get great coaching with Rick Carlisle. He's going to be another guy that's going to help in that rotation. Obviously, you got Miles Turner there as well. So I definitely think he's going to help Pascal and all those guys. I mean, and God, James Wiseman, because he came out in 2020. I'm doing some quick math. So he was like 19 then. So what he probably was born in what, like 19? I mean, Lord, he probably born like in 2001 or 2002. So in other words, like in 2000 maybe. So he's only no more than about 23, 24 years old. And for him to go to the Pacers, I definitely think that's going to be a good, because obviously I thought the Detroit thing was going to work out, but we know how that didn't work out to plan. We thought Monty Williams was gonna have a little bit more time to kind of get himself together. I know he's, so, and James Wiseman, even though he was a number 2 overall pick, he's still a guy I think that could be solid. I don't, he's not gonna be, when you think about number 2 overall pick, facing the franchise kind of guy. No, he's that kind of guy. But I think if he plays for a Pacers team, another team that's there, we didn't talk about them as far as the log jam in the Eastern Conference, but they did advance to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. So that's still another team that still is in contention. So it's going to be interesting. The thing I liked about this free agency, there wasn't really a superstar type of, top heavy superstar like we've had in years past. This isn't like 2010 or like 2016 in a sense. But good solid pickups, and like you said, it makes NBA exciting as far as especially in the northeast quadrant of the United States, how those 3 teams are going to fare out. So
I think that KCP one is good too, man. Because I was saying, damn, they don't. There's a lot of teams this year that really didn't have real veteran, even championship. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm looking at the Pacers. I'm like, when you knew they was in this position, why didn't you at least go get somebody that's got playoff experience, even if they on the bench just for motivation? Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bunch of people that done got championships that, you know what I'm saying, that are veterans. Like, I don't understand that. Like, this whole playoffs, I was looking at that. Like, the Timberwolves were so lucky to have Mike Conley. You know what I'm saying? Just to have that experience to help Ant-Man and put him through. So I love that KCP one. KCP to me is, I'm like, because I thought they was gonna get rid of Michael Porter Jr. and I could have thought I saw something that happened, and I realized that he just signed his contract last year, or an extension. Anyway. And I was like, and so I said KCP in some type of way probably knew, man, they most likely not gonna resign me. You know what I'm saying? So like it's weird as you watch these players when they know they're not going to get re-signed. They probably already know like they can replace me, because I believe they say we can replace a KCP, we can replace this type of player. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Like I was thinking. I know we got to move on. I was thinking. I said, man, if I was the way it's going with this playing tournament, because I was talking to my dad about. I said, think about it, Dad. Look at the top teams. It was. I mean, you got OKC, you got the Timberwolves, and I said you had like teams like even the Mavericks. They always playing tournament teams the years before that. And I said, I think, and he said, well, that's because they were healthy. And I said, right, they took advantage of the beginning of the season because they all were healthy. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, teams got to start looking that way. You can't waste no time, and you got to get in there. You shouldn't want to be in that play-in tournament. You know what I mean? And then I said, if you are able to get in the play-in tournament, like you should set your team up like, okay, if I get in here, like just set your team up so like you can have guys when you get into the playoffs, they just won't be a dud. You know what I mean? So, and I'm hoping the CBA is helping that. Like they get players that for veteran minimums or that can stretch it out. Because you don't want no teams going to playoffs. You like clean sweep, clean this, clean that. It'd be so unbalanced. You know what I mean? I really like Orlando. I liked Orlando last year.
Oh yeah, yep, yeah, and that's one thing too. And they vaulted to the 5th seed in the Eastern Conference. And it's like one of those where it's like it's gonna, this is gonna be a springboard for them. And now they get that KCP experience. So yeah, I definitely like what's going on in Orlando for sure.
What has
And then
Miami done?
also you nothing, not a thing.
Word. Word.
Well, I think did they sign DeLon Wright? I think I forgot. I think did they I think they might have signed DeLon Wright. I think. But other than that, I think that's it.
Hmm.
Right. And that's a Charles Barkley. Who he play for? But
The Bucks do anything?
um, huh?
The Bucks do anything? I think they about to
Not
lose
not that I'm
Lopez.
aware of. Yeah. And also I forgot to mention too, with the Spurs situation, they're another one in that Laurie marketing sweepstakes. Now, I think if the Spurs can get Laurie marketing, I literally think this team can make the playoffs next year. I think the
I
Spurs
think
can
they're gonna make it
potentially make
anyway.
the playoffs.
Yeah, I think they're gonna make it
Yeah, I
anyway.
think if Laurie, yeah, I think if Laurie marketing is going to take them over the top. And it's weird like the West because the only team that you really can potentially take out is maybe the Warriors as far as that
Hmm.
top 10, because then
Hmm.
you got to prop up Houston, So it's kind of a maybe the Clippers. You take the Clippers out the rotation as well potentially,
Right.
but they still kind of one of those where I think they could still be like a playing team. They could probably be like maybe the worst team in the West Conference and still kind of at least get into the play-in. So
Do you think
yeah,
Houston
the
might have
West.
do you think Houston might have done enough that they might be able to move ahead?
I mean, they were right there. I mean, think about it. They played great basketball in the second half of the season. Like they literally, if they weren't so behind, in the essentially what because they really got hot like right around like maybe like at the All Star break in the sense.
You think they should?
Because
You
remember they
think
was
they
reeling
banking
reeling
on Steven
off.
Adams, or you think they should let him go?
I mean, I think you keep them. I think you keep them. I know they said they weren't gonna with Shagun and Jalen Green. I don't know if they're gonna pick up. I don't think they're gonna pick up their option or something. I've seen something where they won't gonna pick up their option. So that I think it was them too. But yeah, I definitely think and then I also like them getting Reed Shepard out of
Hmm.
Kentucky, where I think they can kind of slow him into the process. And like to me, you really can't go wrong with Kentucky guards. Obviously, if we've seen how everything is played tuition as far as we look at Book, John Wall, who else? Jamal Murray, uh, Tyrese Maxey is another one. So it's kind of one of those where um, you just don't. I definitely love that move. And I think we kind of even talked about that with the Hoopers as far as what Houston could potentially do at 3, and I did talk about Reed Shepard. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, so let's address the elephant in the room, shall we?
No, we can go to the next jump. We can go
You
to the
ready
next
for the
jump.
elephant in the room, are we?
No, we can go to the next jump.
All right, because I just want to make sure, because this could be the difference between us being canceled or being loved forever. So let's talk about it. So obviously, Bronny James, was drafted number 55 overall to the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is an historic pick. Obviously, if you have been sleeping on the rock, LeBron James Jr., aka Bronny, will be teammates with LeBron James Sr. And this will be the first time in NBA history that a son and father will play together on an NBA court for the same team. So this is gonna be a little multi-layered, shall we say? What's your overall thoughts on the Lakers selecting Bronny with the number 55th overall pick? And then just your overall thoughts of just was this worth it, earned, or just your overall just thoughts on this whole circus that happened on last Thursday.
Coach, we've grown so far since 2017. We've been through so much, man. Like, like
Sure, sure.
anyway. Well, you know me, man. I'm happy for him. You know, Hey man, I'm happy for him. I hope everything works out well. You know what I'm saying? Like he don't have to play basketball if he doesn't want to. Doesn't have to do anything. He's good, you know. So he wants to do it, like, you know, so I'm happy for him. He got plenty of support, you know what I mean? If it don't work out, don't work out. You know what I'm saying? I know he most likely worked hard for it. I know he's been breaded into he's been breaded into it because of who his dad is and who the people that he got around because of his father. Um, you know, you know, I think he's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? I think the situation opened. It always opened doors, and you get to see stuff. You know, you start hearing these players average less than him, and I'm like, wow, I didn't know that. You know what I mean? And then I'm looking. At first, I was really buying into what everybody else was saying. Then I looked at the draft, and I was like, you can't even say half these dudes' names. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even know who some of these players are. Like, are they worse than him? Or are they better? They just a lot of them just taller, if anything. So, you know, hey man, like I said, I remember when Kobe had missed those three shots in the Utah game, and all those Utah players and everybody came over and shook his hand. It was like, you know, so I just hope he be okay. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, but it's gonna come with it. Like I said, it's gonna come with everything, all the negativity. It's gonna come with it. I hope he fight through it. I believe he can. And is it earned? I know you asked me if is it earned. Hell yeah. Sorry. I know everybody want to think other way. I think it is earned. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of sacrifice happened pertaining to the James game. So hell yeah. Um, a lot of people in the league, you know, that you know he kind of grew up playing with also. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I'm with it. Congratulations to them. You know what I'm saying? I will say this too. I remember, and I want to say thank you to Eli Manning. I got a couple of championships out of the situation because Ben Roethlisberger was supposed to go to the Giants and Eli was supposed to go to San Diego, and he said he don't want to play for no sorry, you know.
Yeah.
And then I ended up getting Ben. I got two Super Bowls, so I appreciate it. So you know, for me, I think it's great. I wish I had the type of power that I
Yeah.
could just, which I do in some ways. In some ways, I got it.
Yeah.
You know.
All right. Well, all right. So, first off, I'll do the positive first, but I will be real and transparent about the situation. Um, I'm happy for Bronny. I do wish him much success in the league. I will, be rooting for him for sure. This was my biggest fear when we talked about this 2 years ago. This was my biggest fear of Bronny being in a situation where he necessarily isn't ready for this opportunity. In my personal opinion, that's one factor. And I'm cool with them taking it at 55. But I think the thing that has bothered me throughout this whole process is LeBron James and those tweets, and also Clutch Sports involvement with it. So there was a tweet while LeBron was at and it reads, "Man, Bronny definitely better than some of these cats I've been watching on League Pass today. Shit." He said this shit lightweight hilarious with some sideway laughs emojis. Now, this is when Bronny was a senior in high school. I think at the time he was maybe average like 13, 14 a game at Sierra Canyon. So then fast forward, there was so in February, I think we might have talked about this on the show. February, well, no, that's right, because we were on air in February. We took the break at the Super Bowl, so we didn't talk about this. So remember when Bronny was off of many people's mock drafts? So LeBron responded to it. So he said, "Can y'all please let the kid be a kid and enjoy college basketball? The work and results will ultimately do the talking no matter what he decides to do. If y'all don't know what if y'all don't know, he doesn't care what a mock draft says. He just works, earned, not given." That last sentence, and that's why I'm like that when it says earned, not given. that 55th pick was a given. Let's just keep it a buck. And that's my thing. And then the whole situation with Clutch telling people on Thursday where if you draft Bronny, he's gonna go to Australia. Like, what are we doing here? Like seriously, what are we doing here? I thought it was bad enough that Alex Sarr, who was the number 2 overall pick that was projected to be the number 1 overall pick, decided not to work out with the Atlanta Hawks. Many people didn't know that story, but people knew about the Bronny James situation. And it's just, to me, just let the process happen for him. That's the thing that killed me about this situation. Like I even said, and I'll stay consistent in what I said about Bronny as far as when he came out of the draft, and I said that was a mistake. I personally said it was a mistake because of the simple fact I wanted him to either do 2 things. I wanted him to stay at USC and be under Eric Musselman, who Eric Musselman is a great coach. He's a former NBA coach, and he does a great job with developing guards. Or him going to Duquesne with Drew Joyce. Is it Drew? Yeah, it's Drew. Yeah, it's Drew. Yeah, Drew Joyce. Oh, that's right, because Drew Joyce the 4th or the 3rd. I forgot. Yeah, but anyway, him being a part of the mighty A10, as Woj would eloquently say about the Atlantic 10 Conference, which is mighty in stature. But he goes there, kind of develop, and he gets a better opportunity in the crack of the apple. But that's my only issue with it. I think that involvement of it, where it's just like, let him just be a kid. Like, I'm cool with Bronny going to Lakers. I don't have the problem, but I think everything else that's outside of it, the creating this buzz, the thing that really annoyed me to the core of this. You want him to be a kid, let him still be a kid. Because he's still, in February, he was still trying to get himself acclimated in the system at USC. So it's like, to me, I'm cool. Honestly, I know there's better players that should have been, because I think about a guy, because we can always go back and forth as far as prospects. Because the leading scorer of that team, and I talked about how he would been a great compliment with this guy. We talked about it when Bronny went to USC, a guy named Boogie Ellis. Boogie Ellis is 6'3", taller than Bronny, and he averaged 16.4 points per game at USC, compared to Bronny being the 8th leading scorer at USC, and a terrible USC team, probably one of the worst teams in the Pac-12. But then you get the leading scorer of that team, and even Isaiah Collier dropped, because Isaiah Collier was supposed to be a lottery pick, and he dropped. So it's kind of one of those where, I understand the significance of it. It's a great accomplishment. It's something that LeBron James can say, I played with my son. I think, even though I'm not a father, but I even the thought of me having a child and having an opportunity to play with my son, I think we all would. Even if you're father or you're fatherless, that opportunity is probably by far one of the most coolest moments. I know, when it's all said and done with, when it's all said and done with LeBron, probably one of his proudest moments is going to be what's going to happen next season. I know he's won championships in Miami, Cleveland, and in LA, but I definitely think this is going to go down as one of his favorite moments. But I'm just going to call a spade a spade. I wish things happened a different way, but it didn't happen. So I'm not going to be like, oh, I wanted him to go there. Okay, I said that months ago. It didn't happen. So I'm cool with it. I mean, at first, I've grown to be cool with this move. Honestly, it took me a while, but I'm cool with it.
He's so funny. It took me a while, but I'm cool with it. So you really just don't like Clutch Sports and their tactics, huh?
Well, like I talk about with him, like to me, I don't want to put no name out there, but I'll just give you an example. So, like I said a few weeks ago, Rich Paul would be great if he's your agent. If he's your agent, like if he was representing me, I would, he would be. We would be cool. But if I'm an outsider like I've been, it annoys you, because it's like, why are you creating this buzz on a Thursday afternoon, threatening other teams like Boston. Like, you think Boston's really was gonna take a chance on drafting Bronny? Like, no, they worried about other stuff, and that's my thing that killed me about this whole process. If you look at all the scouting reports, a lot of these scouts, most of them didn't even want to even touch Bronny with a 10-foot pole, and it's known. There's so many scouts that said, his scouting reports were horrible for them. So, we knew this was going to be a Rob Pelinka, LA Lakers move and JJ Redick. We knew it. So there was no need for you. That's just like, I don't even really can give you an analogy to explain how crazy Thursday was. It was just,
like
it was uncalled for.
But we don't know. Just what I saw was a lot of people were using the Lakers, and the Lakers seemed like they might even let them use them for leverage to get more from Hurley to, I think, even Klay Thompson. You know what I mean? Like, I think a lot of people, they were putting it out there and they're like, oh, we don't want the, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, just whatever leverage they had.
Yeah.
I think they used the Lakers for leverage. And I just think that's what, and most likely, I think a lot of things are starting to be surfaced that we're starting to see is a lot of people, a lot of the, and I'm not justifying anything that Rich Paul and them doing, but I'm saying they're starting to see that these guys are playing the same game that others had always played. Like, I just watched something today that was on TikTok, and it was with Sean Kemp and how he asked them to bring a certain guy in, and that was his friend, and they paid him rather than pay Sean Kemp. And Sean Kemp was like, yo, why would you do that? He was like, I'm the best player on the team. But he was like, are you the best player in the in the what do you say in the league? And he was like, if that's the case, then you need to be better than Jordan. You know what I'm saying? He looking like, who the hell is better than Jordan? You know what I'm saying? So they gave that dude $60 million or something like that. I just think that, and I'm not knocking anything, like you said, he's my agent, and the game recognized game too. So I love to see somebody use their hustle, but I know as a fan, they may not like it. Like, if you're a fan of a team and you see a player who using his leverage to get a certain amount of money, you know what I mean? And he's like, I'm not gonna play until you pay me or blah blah blah. I'm sure the fans get upset, but you got to understand, man. Everybody, you got to do what you got to do when you're in those fields. So we don't know what it might have been other teams that was willing to draft him just to get back at LeBron or get back at the Lakers.
Yeah, and then like the whole situation, right? And I don't know that, but considering the fact of that, just all of this not working out with other teams,
right?
Because I think he had opportunity to do what, like, I think he had like maybe like 8 or 10 teams that was interested, but he only worked out with the Lakers and the Suns. Right. So it's just one of those where it's just like you've already set the tone already by doing that. Yeah. So it's kind of one of those where, you can do the leverage, and then the whole thing with, and then we knew about their plan because remember what they put out initially. People think that, if we sign with if we draft Bronny, we'll get LeBron. Your boy slipped up during I forgot with Chris Haynes said, he could be a free agent. And then your boy, and then Mr. Rob Pelinka was like, yeah, this is a great opportunity for Bronny to play, LeBron to play with his son. I was like, oh, I thought he was an unrestricted free agent. Thursday, he was the unrestricted free agent. So Rob Pelinka, did you just spill the beans in your press conference? Like, we know this play. So don't play dumb. Like, don't play dumb with us. That's what I'm saying. Right. People's like, and people, I'm like, we knew the plan.
Yeah, we knew.
Don't play dumb with us. And this whole thing with, we weren't involved in the involvement of JJ Redick. Come on now. Come on. Let's just keep it serious. He was involved in that. That you cannot sit here and tell me that LeBron James was not involved in the recruitment of JJ Redick. And it's like, well, we only speak on, like, what was it, like that Thursday?
Well,
no, you didn't.
Okay. They gotta say that, man. People get in trouble, but at the same time, look, Chris. coach. Come on, man. He don't have a GM. He don't have somebody. Rob Pelinka sucks. It's the
Okay.
truth. The Lakers, they suck. They got who the wife and husband? So what's his name? What was his name?
Rambis.
Yeah,
Rambis.
it's like, come
Yeah,
on, y'all.
Rambis
Like,
and his wife.
they don't have, they don't have West. They don't have no GM there
Okay.
that he could
Because guess
trust
what?
to build a team.
And God rest his soul, Jerry West, Jeannie Bush, the greatest governor since Arnold Schwarzenegger, kicked them out because she felt a certain way because how he felt about her and Phil. See, and that's the thing where it's just like, no, LeBron is a general manager. But like, yes, you're right. He's not supposed to say that. But that's just like anything. Because it's like this that's like anything. Like the whole situation with Kirk Cousins signing with the Falcons. They got caught tampering because he literally signed like right at the dot line. So it's
Right.
like that. So yeah, they're supposed to say that, but we all know, like
Yes.
that's just like me saying, yeah, it's 9 o'clock at night, but what I'm telling nobody is really 7 o'clock. It's dark outside, so it is seven. It's
Right.
9 o'clock at night because it's 7 o'clock. It be light. That's what I'm saying. It's just one of those things where it's like we understand that, and you don't have to say nothing. That's the thing about it. You don't have to say nothing. Just let the process play out. Make those moves and be quiet about it. Oh, this not a because what they try to do is try to create a narrative as if LeBron did not have any say so with that. That's why he said in the beginning, well, it's going to be really an AD situation. No, how you can justify the coach being your podcast your podcast co-host? You can't justify that. Don't just make it seem like, oh, that's AD choice. AD wanted James Borrega. Borrega should have been the head coach then. Come on now. Let's and that's the thing. And see, and that's where this the part that sucks for me because I'm rooting for Bronny. I want him to be that guy. And I think the beauty thing with him, and I think for me, and I understand, and I think a lot of people aren't gonna understand the casuals, he's probably gonna be in the league for a long time because of just the simple fact of I think he'll be able to know his role. And I don't think he's not gonna deviate from his role. So I think that's gonna keep him in the league for a considerable
Talking
amount of
about
time.
Bronny?
Yeah. So and a lot and the thing is people are not gonna understand he's not gonna be like his father. Don't think he's gonna be the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He's gonna be a glue guy. He's just a regular guy. Like to me, that's what I liked about him even when I was watching the series to that guy. I forgot what it's called. Oh shoot, I cannot believe I forget. I watched that mess. I watched all 4 seasons of it. But when you look at his career, Sierra Canyon, he was just a normal guy. He fit in with all the guys. He was never like, oh my God, he's LeBron James Jr. or he's Bronny. And I think that's the endearing quality I like about Bronny. He's just a guy. And I think, that's I think he's going to be a great locker room guy going forward. And I think he will be a guy that will know his role and he won't deviate from it.
Which I think he comes off that type
Yeah.
of person anyway. He always
Right.
been like
And
I
that's
would
the
want to.
thing.
Why would you not want to
Yeah,
play with him? You see what I'm saying? Because he
yeah,
seemed like he ain't trying. He ain't gonna ball hog. He ain't gonna do such a. He don't complain. He just But I mean you said your point, and I agree with everything because I got I see it from your point. I swear I can. Everybody can. But at the same time, I'm like remember he came there because Magic met up with him, right? Magic leaves at the end of the season. Like it was crazy. Like he just up and left. It was supposed to be Magic and Rob supposed to change the Lakers with Jenny Buss taking over. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the thing. I remember going to my biker buddy, and he was like, he fixed engines, right? So somebody bring his car, and there was like something wrong with the engine. He was like, look, you got another car because he said he liked to go from the beginning. He wanted to take the engine out, and he wanted to see what happened. Okay, this happened. So how did this happen? So it might take about a few weeks or a month before you get your car back, but it'll be fixed at 100% because he's gonna fix the real issue, and that's the real issue, man. It goes all the way back to the point where they was trying to rebuild. Magic left. Why did Magic leave? Magic said it was Rob, but then it was people that was Lakers that said no. Magic has always been an issue. Yeah, we loved him as a player. It been a bit, but he's always had certain things about him. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, both of them are pointing at each other. Then he leaves, right? So then Rob said, I'm gonna give you this, and that. They had already got AD. They set up the whole. That's what it almost seemed like. That's what Magic was there to do, to make sure they got Anthony Davis. But that was then moving all the way on after the bubble. What did he do? He got rid of all the players that nobody wanted. There was a bunch of players that did well. They got rid of them. You know what I mean? So then what happened? They could have kept Dwight Howard, but they went and got um, the dude from the Clippers. That was the sixth man. That didn't work out.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's like, then what did you do? You went and got Westbrook and Carmelo. You basically went and got Westbrook.
Who
and
wanted?
Westbrook
Hold on. I don't mean to interject. But who wanted both of those two guys? Let's talk about it.
Right. That was LeBron.
Okay.
Now let me ask you a question. Wouldn't you get Westbrook too? For Kyle Kuzma?
But that team, I wouldn't, because you got LeBron James.
Right.
Because you want to surround him with like shooters, because he's on the ball. So he's going to be, so he's going to be somebody. You need people that's off the ball that you can kick out and dish. They're literally the same kind of, like, when it comes to on the ball type of guy.
Really,
like,
he was better off getting James Harden than Westbrook. He was better off getting James Harden than Westbrook.
Or somebody of that skill set is off the ball.
Westbrook just couldn't do it. He just couldn't do it. Regardless, he just couldn't do it. And then that was a bad year. That was a real bad year. And it's just, I mean, bottom line is, I think they should be asking this question. LeBron or Rob, which one would you want? Like, get somebody in there that, if he's gonna be there, that he knows really gonna work. Like, I don't feel like, I think Rob lets LeBron make certain things, but every once in a while, I'm telling you, man, every once in a while, you got to think about if Jordan had that power and what was it, Krause?
Yeah, Jack Krause, yeah.
Why you always make that face when I say the dude's name? I'll just
No, I don't say nothing. No, I didn't say no.
But he had to fight and said, look, I need for you to trust me. You don't need Doug Collins. You need this dude named Phil Jackson. Then Phil had to do what he did, say, I need for you to trust me, Michael. You got other players. This is just the truth. Like, why are you gonna have somebody there if you're not gonna let him? Y'all got to work together. What do you think we need? Okay, well, let me go try to get you that. I couldn't get this person, but I got this person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you just, no, okay, we go get this guy. You know what I mean? Because I don't think AD like him. I don't think Anthony Davis like him.
Yeah. What?
What's wrong?
I mean, yeah, he don't like, but that's the problem. He like he doesn't have like a Jerry Krause where, okay, I'm gonna trade Charles Oakley, your guy, for Bill Cartwright.
Right.
You're not gonna. He allows that type of, like, right, because if anybody in their right mind, we're not taking your son at the number 55th overall pick. We might give him as an undrafted free agent, but we're not gonna select him with the 55th overall pick. Well, that's right. So
you're a Laker.
Who fault is that? No, that's Jeannie. Because Jeannie, look, Jeannie is all about the money. And I love me some Jeannie Buss. Sorry, Jay Moore, but I love me some Jeannie Buss. But Jeannie Buss is all about lining her pockets, and I'm fine with
because
Jeannie doing what she got to do.
He's going
for sure.
Out of that draft,
for sure.
He's going to have the number one jersey out of that draft. And I was telling my dad that, and I'm trying to tell everybody that. I said, this is part of it also. Like, they got the sales stuff also. You know what I mean?
For sure. And shout out to our guy Tony Savant. What's going on, bro?
And when you're dealing with something like the Lakers, that's going to happen. That's one of their
Yeah,
biggest things.
it's all yeah. It's all they're all about the money, and at this point, at least at least they're being transparent about this. They're not all about winning championships. Even JJ Redick said we're all about player development.
Yeah.
Hence, what they're doing. So yes, and it's fine. So that's the thing is at least Jeannie and Rob is not selling you a bag of bones and saying, "Hey, we're trying to win." You damn sure
Right.
not going to. Like you said, they're gonna sell more than Nick Van Exel jerseys.
Mm-hmm.
That Nick Van Exel ever sold in his career is probably gonna get that more in 1 year potentially. But they know that's why they don't mind paying that $163 something million they're gonna pay LeBron because they're gonna get potentially billions out of that. They don't care. Like they don't. That's their point now. They don't care. They're gonna milk this while it lasts. Hell, they're probably waiting and salivating for damn Bryce. At
Truth be
this
told, I
point,
think they did that with Kobe too. I think that's why
yeah,
Kobe said, "I'm just gonna take all my bread," because I think it got
for
to the
sure.
point where this is being like, you brought Steve, like it's like this is starting to be a shit show. You know what I mean? Like y'all just bringing like, okay, you ain't
Right,
got Lynn Sanity. You know what I mean? And Kobe like, you know what I
yeah,
mean? Like,
right, right. Wait to Bryce come.
right?
Right, because that's what happened. And LeBron only will
I'm
be
telling y'all
41.
though. I'm telling you. I've been telling you for the longest, B. I know you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm really gonna watch these Warriors because I'm telling you, I know everybody thinks Steph is great, but Clay ain't gonna be there. Clay ain't there. He ain't gonna. I don't think Steph is gonna be what Steph was. I'm telling you, and it's gonna
Yeah,
be some. It's gonna be a trip
but
in about a year. It's gonna be some conversations. Just like they still be talking every year. We talking about Harden and him signing or some type of contract. You know that it seems like
oh
almost
yeah,
every year we're
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
him getting a contract or signing something.
You're getting it. You getting that money. But yeah, I mean they know. I mean, and the Lakers know, and they know, and like I said, they wait. Yeah, and then what's gonna end up happening? Then y'all really gonna be mad. Y'all really gonna be mad. Bryce coming in 2 years. Braun probably gonna retire in about 3 years. He gonna get that late. He gonna get that the Las Vegas team potentially, and probably gonna be a majority owner, and the James brothers gonna be playing in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And but you see how I plan that out. But guess what's gonna happen? They're gonna do something stupid. They're gonna act like this ain't a part of the plan. They're like, oh no, we don't want them to come together in Las Vegas. And then what you're gonna do? You're gonna strong arm surgery. So, oh well, if you don't trade them in Las Vegas, we're gonna send them to Austria or we're gonna send them to Tanzania. That's going. But that's what I'm saying. Let the plan happen, but don't act like we stupid. That's the thing. Like
Coach, I can see it.
I was look, look. I was born at 2:30 in the afternoon, but I was not born this afternoon.
But I can
We know the
see it.
plan,
Vegas. Oh
right?
man, they
But
sponsored by
don't.
Swenson's and Geno's. Oh my God.
So,
Oh my God.
and that's what's going to end up ultimately happen. But don't. But the thing with them, don't act like we don't know the plan and we know that you got your hands in the cookie jar. We know the cookie jars is halfway filled with cookies. We
Right.
know it. So don't play dumb. We know what's
He
going to
has to
happen.
play dumb.
That's the
This
thing
was
that
he can't.
no, no, you don't. But you don't have you don't have to do empty threats and stupid stuff like they were doing. You don't have to tweet like what LeBron was saying. That's the thing that killed me about this whole process. Like, why are you tweeting on a random day in February because your son out in a mock draft? Like, come on
Man,
now.
that might have been the wine talking though.
But that's just
Okay,
stupid.
okay.
But but but,
I
but
look. I'm on
LeBron
your
is
side.
calculated. See, that's another one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah,
Yes, he is.
yeah. But I'm saying, but he's probably by far the most calculated person on the face of this earth.
No college
That was
degree.
intentional. He perceived in people's head.
Right.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, and we always applaud LeBron for that. Yeah, for sure. But he plants those seeds, and it's just like we know what you're doing. Like it's not just like a random person tweeting something out. That's calculation. That's precision.
Right.
He did that for a reason,
Right.
even though he deleted that tweet. But
You
it
you
happens.
got great insight. You supposed to know that. You, Tony, guy, you guys are supposed to know that, but there's certain people that don't. They just because they don't think you're smart enough to be able to do that. There's certain people out there that really don't think that that you guys would know that. And I ain't talking about him. I'm talking about the people why he even doing that. Because they don't think you smart enough to be calculated like that. They don't even think you smart enough to be able to put an illusion out there like that. Yeah, you just a big dumb person that should shut up and dribble. Mm-hmm.
LeBron James puts a big piece of cheese in the middle of the floor. We know he's gonna put a piece of cheese at midnight every night, and we are the consummate rats, and we know the cheese is coming on is gonna be on the floor at midnight, and I'm gonna
Right.
chomp at the cheese at midnight every single night because I know how this happens. So it's 22 years of this. like, this like he's not a rookie. He's
Right.
been doing this in the social media era. Like
Right.
like he's his career, even come to think about it, social media wasn't even around when he first came in the league. So I'll give it take about the last 10, 15, well, about 15 years of him being of doing these things.
Right. So let me ask you a question.
So
Let me ask you a
yeah.
question. So think about him when he didn't play at Bookto High School, right? Because he wanted his little homeboy to play. So they go to St. Vincent,
Mm-hmm.
St. Vincent, right? So then they say, no, we're not. You're not going to play in that gymnasium. We're going to move you to Akron University, Kent State. We're going to have you playing in North Carolina University where the college play and all those different places. And like, he didn't get paid anything. You know what I'm saying? Like they just, they use his likeness and this, and that. So you just think about it. So you just start thinking about, okay, well, this is my power.
Yeah.
So this is, and that's what people got to
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to get people to understand. I know some people don't like it, but I'm trying to explain. He is Nike. He has, like, I watched Brandon Jennings, right? And Brandon Jennings is saying how Sonny helped him get to where he was at.
Yeah.
Sonny, with the movie's airs about. He's saying Sonny when he went
Yeah.
overseas. He said if it wasn't for Sonny, I would not be here. Even he wouldn't even be. Even when he was drafted, he came late. And he said when he kissed to the sky, he kissed to Sonny. These guys, like, matter of fact, when I watched the movie, I never knew that point where, remember, he got in trouble for that jersey.
Yeah.
Remember,
Mm-hmm.
Brown got in trouble for the jersey, and then when they had the
Yeah.
meeting, they had the meeting. It was like, well, we think that you shouldn't pay and play this game because you're going to have a bright future. I had never heard that before, and he was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Man, this might be the last time I can play basketball with my teammates and my friends." You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it's like, okay, you have these people trying to control you in the aspect certain things you do. You know what though? Okay, I give y'all a little bit of control, but I'm gonna have control, and I'm gonna start doing things that I necessarily want to do. And I'm sure Sonny,
Yep.
like I told Tony, Oakley, and all them, man, you got a lot of things going well for you. So you need to, when it comes, you need to use your leverage as much as you can.
Yeah.
That's just how I feel.
Yeah.
I don't.
And
I
that's
think some people don't.
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Stephen A
But
is
yeah,
doing it now.
and that's the thing about yeah, and that's the thing where when you look at that's one of the reasons of the NIL in a sense, where you look at that situation, you look at like
Right.
the Fab Five. There's a bunch of
Yeah.
examples of guys who
Right.
should have gotten paid, and now you're looking at the current day of it, where guys are now finally getting at least. I'm not saying they get fairly compensated, but they're getting at least a share of
Mm-hmm.
the image and likeness, which it should have been. And that's the thing where that's why I'm glad like we're now at an age in even fast forward to his
Right.
son. I mean, you look at the situation where he was making $7 million last year being at
Right.
USC. So it's just like you look at that type of situation where that's the beauty thing about it. And really you think the person you really want to think of is Ed O'Bannon. He the one that really kind of got this
Right.
engine going as far as the name, image, and likeness. You know,
Coach,
so
this whole thing, man, I've been really thinking about it. And I was like, damn, when I sat back and looked at, even when I worked at Food Line, B, and like, I started growing up, and people I was working with moved on to transfer and stuff. It started being, I was like, who your mom? Oh yeah, she blah blah blah. You start seeing all these dudes that don't even know they getting these higher positions, getting paid more, getting all the what I mean, don't hardly work, getting vacations, doing all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Didn't even really
Yeah.
know how to, and I'm like, oh, that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? So it's everywhere, man. Like I work at the post office in
Yeah.
Sandston. I'm telling you, majority of the places people in there are family, and not everybody works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a trip, man. Like it's and
Yeah.
it's I think it's really that's how things really is. You know?
Right. And wait till he become the owner. Like I said earlier, wait till he become the owner when he really, really, really has that power in the NBA, in NBA wise. That's what I'm saying. It's this you're just getting a morsel of LeBron James' power. But once he become
You
a
know what else?
majority owner of an NBA team,
Right.
yeah, for sure.
You know what else is crazy? I said, damn, to me, this put a whole different twist on him saying, I want Kevin Love and Kyrie. I want to play with them. That, you know what I mean? It tripped me out. I said, damn,
Yeah.
because Kyrie's dad played in the league, and so did Kevin Love. I didn't even think about it like that. I'm saying that he did, but I still
Yeah.
was like, well, damn. You know what I'm saying? Because I was
Yeah.
always like, fuck, you want Kevin Love for? Like, if you're going to pick somebody, you're going to pick Kevin Love out of everybody? Wow.
Yeah.
That's a stretch, huh?
But yeah, but he wanted. I mean, he wanted Clay because I wanted Clay to be Bronny's godfather, but I guess that didn't work out. So
Yo, go with that shit, man.
got like a little humor. Got to have a little humor with it. So yeah. So well, we addressed the elephant in the room. So that felt
So
therapeutic.
can I ask
So
you a question though? Just go back to that Clay thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Why do you really think he went to the Mavs if the the Mavs was giving him 3 for 50, no player option, and the Lakers was going to give him basically a player option and 80 million, but basically was going to give him an option. Why do you think he?
And I think,
Before you answer, one more thing,
and I don't know.
one
I'm
more thing
thinking,
before you answer, because even though the Mavs don't look like there's drama there, I still think there will be a headache dealing with how Luca play. My friend, now you can go ahead.
yeah, because I know a lot of people saying because of the taxes and what have you. Because I
Right.
think in all the grand scheme of things, all gonna kind of balance out in the sense because obviously he's gonna get $30 million more with the Lakers, and obviously that would have been absorbed in taxes and what have you. I mean,
Right.
like we talked about it earlier. I mean, I don't know if it's a situation with dealing with the circus that is the Lakers. I think, in my personal opinion, because I mean, to me, I thought it was going to be a shoe in because him it'd be an opportunity for him to be around his dad all the time and Michael Thompson. So I thought that would be an ideal situation, and he was very fond of his LA days when he was a child. So I thought, if I had a crystal ball and you talked to me around 5 o'clock on Sunday, I'm like, man, Clay going to Lakers, and it'd be a great opportunity where he could be at home, and then he can stick it to the Warriors, in a sense he's probably still, so I, there's always rumors. I know people talk about taxes. People talk about some he didn't want to play with LeBron or just deal with the circus that is the Lakers, which I think both can be true. But I mean, it is a shocker. But I do think Clay want to win, and I think that to me it just shows me Clay wants to win, want to compete for a championship again. I think ultimately that's what it ultimately boils down to me. For me, I think if we really, I think if we sat down and really was honest about it, he wants to be in a predicament where he could potentially win a championship, and I think that's his best option. I know he had options to go to Philly, or he could have went to like Orlando as far as Eastern Conference options. But as far as Western Conference wise, I definitely think um, Dallas probably would be the best spot for him.
You'll see.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, it's a
That boy,
possibility.
that
So
boy Luca don't like passing the ball. Go ahead though.
I know, and that's what. Oh my God! So I don't know if you heard Tim. I think I forgot. Tim Hardaway was talking about how like Tim Hardaway Jr., he had so many opportunities he could have, and then Luka kind of passed him up. Just and I don't know, it was a certain sequence that Tim Hardaway Jr. brought up, but I'm like, it is what it is. But so yeah, so let's we'll put a bow on tonight's show. First, we'll go first. Who gets this week's game ball for you?
Man, I was looking up who gets this game ball, and then I thought about it. I said, man, we got legendary status coming out of DMV. So my game ball goes to Potomac, Maryland's own 16-year-old Quincy Wilson. Has made Olympic history. Quincy Wilson has locked his status to be on the 2024 Olympic track team that's going to Paris. This Sunday, he secured his spot, and he beat his personal best at 44.59 seconds. He's done that twice in the last, I think, week or two. He is the first. He's the first U.S. male he's the youngest U.S. male to make the athletic team. So shout out to Quincy Wilson.
Yes, definitely be in Paris. Definitely huge shout out to him. DMV
DMV's
in the building. Yes, indeed. Definitely looking forward to seeing what he can do in Paris, man, for sure. And it's crazy to think we're 3 weeks away from it. It's just show you like time goes by so fast. It's
going fast, dude.
So I got 2 for the price of 1 this week. So definitely want to give a huge shout out to Kemba Walker. Announced today his retirement. All-time leading scorer in Charlotte Hornets history. He leads them with most 3 points made and attempted. He's top 3 in games played, assists, and steals. So hopefully they will retire his jersey at some point. Very soon, especially in that organization. 3-time All-Star, and definitely huge shout out to Kemba Walker on his illustrious career. So definitely huge shout out to him. And shifting our focus to the back to the Olympics. So I gotta give a huge shout out to Aaliyah Edwards from the Washington Mystics. She was named today. She'll be a member of the 2024 Women's Basketball Canadian National Team. So definitely huge shout out to Aaliyah Edwards representing the Mystics in the Olympics and Mystics in the Olympics. That rhymes. So definitely huge shout out to Aaliyah Edwards. I know a lot of people, and especially considering the fact this outstanding rookie class. You got Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Cameron Brink, get well soon, Rickea Jackson. But definitely huge shout out to Aaliyah Edwards. Even though I know the Mystics are struggling this year, but there is some bright spot in this season for the Washington Mystics. So definitely huge shout out to Aaliyah. And before we head on out, what's your final thoughts? Social media.
Great show. I appreciate you, too, Coach. We done been through a lot dealing with LeBron James in the last 5-6 years. We've matured so much since then.
It's exhausting.
And I'm serious, man. I try not to get so emotionally attached to it, man. But some people just go too far, and I feel like I have to stop myself because I'm like, okay, this is not even a real conversation. This is just just antagonizing so you can win a conversation. But I appreciate you, man, because I know in the beginning I was like, are you serious? Wow. Hey, man, anniversary coming up soon, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yep. The 19th. So we're about a week, about a little over. Yeah, so yep. Yeah. And you'll never guess what's crazy about that. So I remember the first topic that we discussed on that episode on July 19th, 2014, is when LeBron went back to Cleveland. That was the first ever topic. And who would think in a million years, 10 years later, we still talking about LeBron James. Now we're gonna talk about his son.
You know the other team he was supposed to go to?
Crazy.
He was supposed to go to the Lakers. He decided to go
back in
Cleveland.
14.
He's supposed to go to the Lakers.
That would have been crazy. Him and Kobe.
Crazy.
Gosh. Yeah. Because I think at the time the brothers was running one at the time. Because Jimmy wasn't running it then. I think it was the other her brothers was running it at that time, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was her
But
brothers.
yeah,
Like because when
yeah,
Magic
her
and Rob
brothers.
took it, her sister got it. I mean, Jenny got it. I don't even know how that happened, but I got the weirdest feeling that the league might have been behind that in some way, where they was like, man, we can't have y'all losing like this. And Kobe done retired, but hey,
Yeah, make up for the Chris Paul trade.
right? And I know we gotta move on, but you would just think the Lakers will be trying to do something, because Boston just won. But that just goes to show. I just think certain people that's behind it, they don't have the pride to say, hey man, y'all do know our arch rivals just won. So we need to do whatever we need to do to try to figure out a way to win. You know what I mean? But the one good thing I will give them, if they not gonna get nobody, at least they got another year to have the same team where they could work on some things. But damn.
Yeah, they said shoot. The Lakers got a promotion all year. Bring your son to work day. So Lakers ain't worried about the 18 championship. So, bring one son, get one son in for free. I mean, they got deals all. But yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm happy for Bronny, but you getting these jokes. You getting these jokes off. We
Oh
getting these
yeah, they
jokes
about to
off
preach the shit.
all season long. Oh, we getting off some jokes. Trust me. Oh,
I
we
think the
go.
one of the
Oh
one
yeah.
main things
I'm
too
getting off some
for his
jokes.
height, one thing I give him for his height, he can jump. I was like, damn. I said somebody gonna get yammed on, and I think he need to do that 2 or 3 times and then back up off of him. That man, this Pat. What if he did that to
Yeah,
Patrick Beverly? Ah, in your face.
he would silence a lot of people. He like, gosh, like that's what he need, and I hope so too, because I know Pat. Yeah, he gonna try to. I don't know. I always feel mixed about Pat Beverly because part of me is like I don't think he's gonna do that to stick it to LeBron because he's so
I think the summer
he's
league. I
so
think he should really show out in the summer league. I think the
yeah. That's what
summer
I
league
hope
is
so too.
very
Yeah,
important. I think he show out in the summer league. They might back up a little bit for real, real. Like,
yeah, and I really hope he plays a lot in the California Classic, and then that leads up to the big one in Las Vegas.
mm,
I really hope he does good at least in the California Classic, and then because I think they play Houston in the to start off um the one in Vegas on the 12th, which is what next Friday, not this Friday coming up, but the following Friday.
mm.
So yeah, he gonna have the ball, and then he on the verge of getting a guarantee a multi-year guaranteed contract. Like let me find out Bronny about to get a first round contract.
Hey Brian, you need an assistant. Hey,
It's really
you see the Cavs signed that dude, the center from or the power forward, center or power forward from North Carolina State.
DJ Burns, yeah, DJ, yeah, big
Yeah.
DJ.
And me and my dad was talking. Like it's like that. Do you think he should have lost that 40 them 40 pounds?
It's subjective. Like I think for a basketball, like it's weird. I really want to see because I like because he can run for his size. So in a weird way, you think okay, he trimmed about 40 something pounds. Like oh, he could definitely be more agile, more quick. But then a part of me is like I don't know how that's gonna really work out for him basketball. Like to me, I think it's gonna work out for him. But like I really want to see, and that's another one I want to see in summer league. And so I think it's gonna work out for him, but it's kind of iffy especially when it comes to basketball. Because if you're lighter, it's probably good for him from a joint standpoint, kind of give his body a little bit of a break in a sense where have to kind of carry all that weight on his knees and all that. But will he lose his back to basket, that kind of that physique is weird. So yeah, that's gonna be another Cleveland gonna be interesting. Then
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
it
we
could
didn't
be
even talk
interesting in
about
summer
that.
league too.
So they gave that
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell got paid. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
I think there's really issues between him and Garland, and I think by them doing that,
Oh
I
yeah.
think Garland might be trying to leave.
Oh,
Come on, the Lakers, take D'Lo, because D'Lo
you
did well
oh
with
you
that kid.
already know you are. I've been trying to tell you. Look. Let me tell you the play. Like remember, I told you. Because why LeBron went to Game 4, Boston versus
Oh, I didn't even think
Boston
about
versus
that.
Cleveland.
I didn't even think about
Who
that.
was out? Who was out? Who was out? Donovan Mitchell.
I didn't.
Who Donovan Darius Garland played.
Oh, I'm getting excited. Let's go, baby. Come on. That excites
Because guess
me.
what? Your first you was gonna get Ice Trey, but Ice Trey
I'm
done
on
fired
Ice.
your boy.
Yeah,
Ha!
I'm on Ice.
Because guess what? It's so funny. It's funny. The moment he got rid of Rich Paul, they put out an article and was like Trey Young unlikely to be traded to the Lakers. I'm like, I wonder why. I wonder why.
Yeah,
I wonder why.
I think Trey needs to stay in the East. Like, him going up against New York. Like,
What?
nah, man.
Yeah, more than likely. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, when you fire your agent,
He's just gonna
yeah,
keep that.
it
I'm trying to
solidified
say
the fact
okay.
that's why he stayed east. He stayed east
Right,
because he fired his
right.
agent. So yeah, I'm telling you,
Come
yeah, oh
on,
yes, oh
Garland.
yes.
D'Lo. I know
Once
Kenny
I'm
asked
telling
him.
you that
He
shoe drop,
he won't
yeah,
D'Lo. What you say?
yeah, and that's gonna happen. I'm telling you, don't be surprised. Darius Garland could potentially, yeah, because they've been.
God.
That's another little dirty secret in the NBA as well. Like them trying to move from Darius Garland because it's gonna be either one of those. But
He need to
now,
come to
like you said,
LA
the first
because
he probably will.
D'Lo did well with Kenny Agnew. D'Lo be an all-star with him. Trust me. Like, that's
Yep.
so bad that we have to talk this way about D'Lo. We like, I'm telling you, man. Like with a little bit of mustard and lettuce and cheese, it's really good. You know what I'm saying? Like, please, please get him off.
And that and you bring up a good point with D'Lo because that's why I don't want Bronny to be in that type of predicament where everybody's gonna be ultra critical of him. Because like I said, I know how he will be. He's not gonna be an all-star in this league. He's just gonna be a guy that's gonna play his role, play a few minutes, this and third. Because the way people turn on D'Angelo Russell like that, it's like, wow. But I'm saying, but he still has solid games. But
Right,
I'm saying, like, if you have a guy like Bronny, where people have that heightened expectation because you are LeBron James
right.
Senior's son, they think you're gonna be this, So that's the thing where I'm hoping he doesn't get like that type of treatment because most Lakers do get that type of treatment, even his father.
Right.
So that's what that's that's where that's been my hiccup with it. Like to me, I will give Bronny grace because I know what Bronny is. Like
Right.
I
But
know
this,
he's not gonna be if he misses a shot or whatever, do that.
right.
Or like if he comes off a catch and shoot and he misses, the scout report tells you he's probably one of the worst catch and shoot guys that came out as a draft prospect. So I understand he's gonna miss it, but people are gonna be like, "Oh, well, he sucked." They already said he's not good when it comes to catch and shoot. So don't get mad at him.
The problem with D'Lo is a clown. The reason I'm saying clown, he do clown stuff. So D'Lo is a 3-point shooter. He plays a certain way. He does it. You know what I mean? His tempo. If he ain't knocking down shots, and he still be talking trash, like, you know what I'm saying? That's D'Lo problem. He be doing stuff, and you be like, man, why you doing that? He one of them type of people like, yo, why you doing that? Like, that's stupid. Like, you had a
Yeah,
playoff game and you eating on the bench. This is the stuff that, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The real problem is a lot of those dudes, like they got it from Nomelo, because Nomelo was doing that stuff when he was in high school, and then Steph started doing a lot of stuff Lamelo Ball was doing. So a lot of them be thinking they Steph out there shooting a certain way, doing all that stuff that Steph be doing, but you're not Stephen Curry, B. You're not. What you need to do is figure out who you are and play how you play. And he threw a lot of like I like D'Lo, especially like the first year, but he had got hurt. But it just seemed like he just I don't know. It just seemed like he would just start doing stuff. Like some people do it because they really think handle the pressure. They say they do. I put in the work. Like he going up against, I think they went up against Memphis and he wasn't hitting no threes. And then he was like, man, I shot 1,000 threes after the game. Man, anybody trying to hear that? You need. That's the problem. You tired. Your arms hurt. You need to be doing that in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like trying to hear that.
Yeah, man. Right.
Anyway,
But yeah,
you know how
man.
we do.
Laker Nation, man. Y'all, not y'all, but just them. Yeah, man. They be. Y'all tough. Laker Nation, man. They don't hold no punches. And I'm just like, yo, just make sure our little nephew take care of our little nephew.
It's really Kobe fans, be like you know what I'm saying.
What?
Like the low Lakers, they wasn't that bad. But when Kobe
I mean,
Laker fans. Oh
yeah,
man, they definitely on Viagra.
yeah,
I ain't even playing.
of course.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, but that really comprised most of Lake Nation because most of them in their age group they witnessed Kobe,
Right.
So it's kind of So that's what I'm saying. Like so y'all better take care of our little nephew. It's on site if you
Remember they
say
traded Shaq,
something
man. They ain't
about our
waste no
little
time.
nephew.
Look, when they traded
For
Shaq,
sure.
I thought they were gonna be like, man, we lost Shaq. Oh my god, they was like, well, Shaq gone. Shoot, we got Kobe.
Good.
You know, I was like, well, damn.
Right.
Okay.
It was good. Yeah, it was good. Yeah. Yeah.
They forgot
For
Phil was
sure.
gone. They just forgot Phil was gone. Like they just forgot Phil
Yeah,
Jackson
they
and
kill him.
all his coaches was gone.
Right.
Man, I don't even know what the Lakers will do. Phil Handy done said no. Casey done said no. Like,
Yeah. And I'm glad he said no. I'm glad he said no because I would not want to be a part of that. No, you're not gonna fire me. Bring me back to coach under a guy that ain't never been a coach. He was a 4th grade basketball coach at Brooklyn Academy last year. No, I don't want championships in LA.
Go get Frank Vogel.
I don't want championships with the Lakers, the Cavs, and the Toronto Raptors. I don't want championships. I done developed pretty much any basketball player that came out of the LA, greater LA region. And I want to be a third wheel to a guy that was a coach at Brooklyn Academy last season. Hell,
hey, Frank Vogel,
no.
Man, come do that favor for a player. Go on, be assistant coach. Come on.
Nope.
Dudley coming.
I would not know JJ. Man, stay
Dudley
with Jason
coming.
Kidd. You know better. Stay with Jason Kidd.
I don't
stay with Jason Kidd.
That look horrible, man. In the damn
Kidd.
championship. Oh man, come on over here, man. Come on,
they made it to the finals. Y'all gonna make it to the play-in. He going to the finals. Y'all gonna be in the play-in at best. Don't go nowhere, Jared. Hell no, don't you go nowhere. You got job security. Mark Cuban ain't getting rid of no Jason Kidd in no future. In the considerable future. Nope. Don't you do it. You're gonna regret it. Don't try to be with the king and all them. No. Stay with J Kidd. Stay with
coach. Don't listen to coach. Remember at the bubble, you was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I want to be getting the coach there. I would like to go back to my own Laminar, be the head player options, blah, blah, blah. They go back, come on, I remember them dreams.
Get what's the thing that you get from from a seamstress? Get you that little 2-ply Velcro. You put one side on your hip and you put the other one on Jason Kidd. You better stay with Jason Kidd. You better stay with J Kidd if you know any better. You still want to be coach at 45?
That was a horrible finals, man. Y'all could have competed so much better. Like if the coaching was horrible, man. No. Don't
Jared,
listen.
do you want to carry 2 trash bags at the end of April because you got no other job, or you want to stay with Jason Kidd and be in April? You're gonna be in the playoffs.
You know they not.
You gonna have to pull a U-Haul truck. You have to pull a U-Haul truck into the practice facility and get all your stuff because you're gonna be gone in about a year.
JJ needs you. He's gonna need your expertise. Y'all both a player. Y'all played against each other. Y'all was great college players. Like, come on, Dudley. You know what I mean? Y'all understand? Like, no, man, don't listen to them.
But yeah, especially if I've already been in that organization, it would be hard for me to come back knowing that you hired a guy that has zero experience.
Monty
It
Williams.
would be like a guy like a Phil Hand. I mean, yeah, he'd be there for like a year or so.
Monty Williams, come on, man. You getting paid
But now
well.
you better take the $85 million.
You getting
Yeah,
paid
you
already.
ain't
You
saying
know you
nowhere.
want to coach. You
I,
can stay on the back.
I still get a private jet. I still get access to the private jet. Or no? Because
You know what?
I'm chilling.
Somebody want
But
to be an
yeah,
assistant coach. Hey, man.
and he's still trying to develop his staff now. It's gonna be interesting how his staff gonna play out.
Because they saying no. I can't believe. I'm like, Casey, what you doing then? You ain't even doing nothing.
But I would say no too. Like I would say no too because it's just like, I mean, I just, to me that would be a slap in my face. You know, especially from Phil's standpoint. I understand maybe somebody else may take a flyer, but especially how he's been in that organization. He's been in that organization for a while. Like he's been through multiple coaches, you know, and they've been, you know, even with Darvin Ham, but you think he was an assistant with the Bucks for years, and he was out with the Hawks as well. So he, you know, under Bud. So for all those years, and they had success. But JJ Redick, he went from giving flowers to Doris Burke to now becoming the head coach of the Lakers. Like, nah. He went from covering the NBA Finals to being like, yeah, I'm the coach. I'm going to deal with Shams.
You guys are going to be the coaches. What JJ is going to do is he's going to be able to go out there and talk to the press. He's going to look a specific way. He's going to say, hey, like, tell people. He's going to do it the political way. And everything's going to be all right.
Yeah. And all he's going to do is ask questions about Bronny.
Huh?
Yep. He needs and I ain't going to ask questions about Bronny. And that sucks. I listened to their press conference today, and all the questions was about LeBron. I'm like, yo, I be like, I low key be feeling for Bronny too. That's why I'm gonna take one of he's my little nephew. Because it's just like
that's. And how do you deal with that though? You can't run from it. The only thing you can do is accept it and go forward. That's all you can do is accept it, and then in the end, look at it like, damn, look at what I got, because you can't run from it, and he can't help it. Like, it is what it is.
And that's the thing that sucks, because this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning of it. So wait till like they actually be in a game together, like, or you know, if he ever becomes available, like even if he has a good game, he go down to the South Bay Lakers. They gonna talk about him then. They gonna talk about LeBron then, and it's like then he gonna have a little tirade. He gonna be like, "Why you always on the road? Be my father then." You know. That's all I'm telling you, man. He gonna keep getting these jokes. Like, I'm sorry, man. We
he probably gonna. He look like he a good person. I think.
Yeah.
I mean, bottom line, I know we gotta go. We've seen this before. This is what they do. They do it to everybody. To hell, we saw this with Lamar Jackson when they didn't want to pay him his money. Like, it was crazy, the stuff that they were saying about him, and then he ended up winning MVP. Like,
yeah,
we've seen this. You know, it is what it is, man. It's gonna happen. So next up, that's gonna calm the Bronny stuff down. No, it's gonna be the Sanders. That's right around the corner. That's gonna be all about them two players and all about Colorado Bubbles. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna talk about Bronny as much.
Yeah, and then wait till it gets to the NFL, and then if Dion leaves, and yeah, it's gonna be and watch. And another speaking of that, I don't know why everybody and their mama think that Colorado gonna smash North Dakota State in next month, which is crazy to think that game's on August 31st. Don't hold your horses. All right, little Ralphie, uh, you gonna run into a little slugfest against North Dakota State. Don't let people thinking they can stuff ain't sweet. I'm like, they're juggernaut in the FCS. Don't get it twisted. Like,
I'm telling you, like I'm sitting everybody Bronny now. They got
they
their
got their
wave.
money.
But what's about to
Yeah,
happen is it's gonna be that wave. It's about to be the Olympics. It's gonna be the summer league, and then everybody's gonna jump right into the Sanders because the same storyline. I hate to tell everybody, is also with Dion and his sons. It's the same storyline. When you break that
yeah,
stuff down, you go with Brett Favre and his issues that he had. Their names is tied into that of why he even did it.
yeah,
And then I forgot. I was like,
yeah.
why would he do that? And then it hit me. Oh, because Brett Favre and him used to play together with the Falcons. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
forgot about that. I said,
Hmm.
oh, see, it's gonna be the same thing. It's gonna be Dion using his celebrity and his power to help his sons get their success.
Yeah, because I don't know what we're gonna do with little shallow. Yeah, because what's gonna happen? Watch, watch. They're gonna use it on shallow for sure.
What'd you say?
But yeah, it's gonna be. See, he probably use that for shallow for sure. And then
Why you say that?
probably what should do. I think because I mean, as far as because I don't see him being like a first round draft pick.
You don't see
So
Shallow being a first
so it's
round
gonna
draft
be
pick?
kind of. Mm-mm. He'd probably
And
be
you
like
don't feel
he probably. Hmm?
no,
Well,
I mean
Shallow's a
I'm just
safety.
asking. Right.
Yeah, and I don't think he probably be like a mid round. He'd probably get drafted maybe like late Friday night, maybe early
Right. And you
Saturday.
know that's not what Dion's saying though, right? You know, Dion's saying is
Correct.
all three of them need to
All
be
three of them.
first
Right.
rounder. And he's
Hmm.
saying it a specific
I,
way, like I know for a fact this is gonna happen. And like I said, everybody looking at it as the players. I'm telling you, this is Nike talking.
yeah,
You hear that?
and the only one that's for yeah at this current the only one that's really a shoe in to be a number one first round pick is probably Travis Hunter
So you don't even think his quarterback son is gonna get it.
at this point. I think he
Oh
will. I think he could be like a late. I mean, it depends. No. I said
no,
no.
no, I'm with you.
But
I
he
hear
really got
that.
to prove a lot this year. No,
Right.
he got to prove a lot this year because he had a good. He for the most part he had a good year last year.
Mm-hmm.
Now piecing together year two, and now because the expectation now he has a more of an offensive line because he was sacked about he probably one of the most sacked guys in probably
Right.
FBS. So now you got an offensive line, and then now you have a little bit more time to kind of make some throws. So what would have been a sack potential with some opportunities where you get some completions. So yeah, I think if he has the same numbers like he did last year, because he only turned the ball over maybe like I think like 4 or 5 times. I think he was pretty efficient, but
Right.
coupled with him getting the offensive line, and then I think, um, yeah, I definitely think he's potentially going to be a first round pick. But I mean, because you still got a good, somewhat of a rich quarterback class in a sense, not rich per se, but like got a pretty good quarterback class coming out in
Mm-hmm.
2025. If everything plays to fruition, but yeah, so yeah, he got an opportunity.
But more what I'm saying is the conversation that we having with LeBron and Bronny, it's going to be the same conversation with that when they
The
get to that
same.
point and they go to the draft because this is what he's saying. And he's like putting his finger up like he know for
Yeah.
a fact. He also said he wanted them to go to certain teams, not teams where it's cold and all this other type of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
And yeah, you gotta wait till the season play out at this point because wait till the NFL season play out because who knows who's gonna be the number one who's gonna have the worst
right,
team because who's to say? Yeah.
right,
So he ain't gonna know that until the second week of January.
right.
He really can't do nothing until the second week of January. But hopefully at that time, you know, maybe those guys could be competing for a college football playoff that's right around the same time. Who knows? Especially with a week now, they got a weaker Big 12, so they don't have to worry about Oklahoma and Texas kind of running that conference anymore. So yeah, they got legit. I mean, you still got good teams there in the Big 12, but it's not as robust without Texas and Oklahoma.
Word. Great show, man. It's what we do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So, social media and plug away what you got going on.
Oh man, Deshaun Morgan, DT Morgan 70 Instagram. Like I said, great show. I'm waiting for Tony. Tony probably hit me in the next few days. Maybe we'll do something. Definitely when you see me on there, I'm also plugging this show and the great things that Coach doing. I'm extremely excited for the sports over the summer, and definitely excited for the next NBA season because there's so many changes, a big transition going on, and I can't wait, man. It's exciting.
Yes, indeed. So so pretty much social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or X, people call that.
Right.
Couch Coach Live. The website couchcoachlive.com. We got that going. And also the podcast, anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, we're there as well. Also, you can check out the podcast on couchcoach.com. You just go into the tab podcast and you'll have the feed of all the shows that we have done. So you can go there as well. And be on the lookout. So on Tuesday, on the 4th of July, we'll got some news about our 11th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview. We will release the date of our 11th annual Couch Coach Live NFL preview. I'm really looking forward to it. So we'll definitely post it on social media on Thursday. So we gotta have a little holiday news for that. So we'll catch you guys next week, man. This has been this week's Couch Coach Live, and we're out.
Welcome.